And my mom randomly one year just got the letter that we won a green card.
No way.
So yet again, my parents packed up their whole life. And we grew up very poor to, both parents worked all the time. We all shared like a bedroom and a den, me, my mom, my dad, and my grandma. I didn't feel poor. I felt very rich because I had a great family. But, looking back, we definitely weren't like rich.
Yeah, you were rolling with it. Yeah.
Anyway, so packed up our whole life again, moved here with just our suitcases.
Hi guys, welcome back to The Alchemists with Evan Rundle. Today I have a very special guest, somebody that I'm really interested to interview. She is, among many things, a mother, a realtor, a developer, an investor, and an entrepreneur. Laura Foss, how you doing today?
Hey, wow, quite the introduction. Thank you. I'm good.
Good. And yeah, we were just talking about you used to live downtown?
Yeah, I can see literally my old spot from here.
The old stomping ground.
Old stomping grounds. Yeah, I lived here a long time. I left during COVID because got really weird.
Okay. And where were you before downtown?
I had a condo in La Mesa by kind of close to SDSU because I was going to school there.
Okay, and that's the one you were telling me about that you guys bought.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, maybe we should just dive right into that. You know, you texted me your story yesterday. Very fascinating. Obviously, you've come a long way from where you started. Why don't you kind of start from the beginning?
Okay. Well, I mean, like my
All the way
parents,
back.
all
Oh,
the
yeah.
way back.
Let's go all the way back to where it started.
All right. So my parents are both from Ukraine, and they got together, found out they were pregnant, and then Chernobyl happened. For those of you that don't know what Chernobyl is, it was a nuclear explosion. And my parents knew, obviously, they did not want to be in that environment or raise a baby there. So they packed up their whole life and moved across the world to Israel. Like, totally different culture. So that's where I was born. I was born in Israel. I lived there until 7th grade. And in Israel, boys and girls are all required to join the military at 18. You don't get paid. You don't get benefits. It's kind of just like what you do.
Deal with it.
And I'm an only child. So my parents were like, we really don't want our daughter fighting in a war at 18. So for years, they tried and played the green card lottery. And my mom randomly one year just got the letter that we won a green card.
No way.
So yet again, my parents packed up their whole life. And we grew up very poor to, both parents worked all the time. We all shared like a bedroom and a den, me, my mom, my dad, and my grandma.
Wow.
I didn't feel poor. I felt very rich because I had a great family. But, looking back, we definitely weren't like rich.
Yeah, you were rolling with it. Yeah.
Anyway, so packed up our whole life again, moved here with just our suitcases. We didn't speak a word of English. This is now 20 years ago.
Okay.
So I was in 7th grade.
And where did you come, like originally?
We came straight to La Mesa.
Oh, really?
How
From
crazy.
Israel?
From Israel, we came to La Mesa.
Any reason why? I mean...
My mom had a friend. My mom was a teacher back in the day. And she had a friend that she went to school with that lived in La Mesa.
Just randomly.
And said San Diego has good weather.
Out of all places. Love it.
We came straight here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but like just the thought of like moving to like Texas or Arizona, it seems crazy, right? Like to pack up your life and move.
For sure.
Can you imagine moving across the world to a place where you don't speak the language?
I can't.
Don't know the culture.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think. And then now that I have kids too, I think about, oh my God, they moved with me. Like they were really risking it all. And we had nothing. Like we came with suitcases. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. We didn't have a car. We used to take the bus everywhere. Food stamps, like the whole 9.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how I ended up in San Diego.
Incredible.
Of crazy. Yeah, my parents were very much 2 hardworking people. And they've twice made like the biggest sacrifice to just give me a better chance. So that's kind of just been my driving force of everything that I do is like, I was ready to grind. Like it was all on my back now, right? Like they've done it all. They didn't speak the language. I didn't either, but obviously I came very young. So I picked up the language really quickly. But that was my driving force. I was like, I've got to make it for us all.
I love that. And is that, because I know you like to host, I know you like to have food and family and all that. Is that kind of where that comes from, those family values?
Oh, for sure. Like, I feel maybe more specific to San Diego, but I feel like I want to say all Americans, but because I'm very American now, I've been here 20
Hmm.
years. But yeah, family is such a big deal. Like everything that we do is barbecues, family gatherings. As you've seen, if you came
Hmm.
to our shoot, like the village is strong. Like having that community is
I
everything.
love that. I love that.
Yes.
And I know about your mother, and we'll get into that too.
Yes.
Father.
Yeah, my dad's here.
Okay, great,
Hmm.
awesome. And he still lives here.
He's here.
I
He's
mean,
my
so
best
so
friend.
grandpa's around.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
every day.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, a
yes.
little too much.
No,
Okay,
no,
the right
no. Like
amount.
the perfect amount.
Okay.
He's our lifesaver. Like
That's awesome.
we'll get into dad.
Sure. And only child. So really it's just you and him now still from,
Just him and
wow,
I. That's it.
look at that.
Hmm.
And is that where your kind of handle comes from, the Russia, or is that
Yeah. So funny story. White Russia was like a drunk night with my friends when I was 21 years old.
okay?
Like it was a New Year's Eve, totally as a joke. And I just changed my handle. So that was just my handle as a joke. And then when I got into real estate,
Yeah.
everybody was like, create a separate page, do
Mm,
this. And I said, you know what? I'm going to stay authentic. I'm
mm,
going to stay me. I'm not going to do anything that's not me.
yeah.
And the right people will like it.
I
And
love
it's
that.
so funny that like actually my handle that started from a joke,
Right, right.
take it Russian is my first language.
Fair.
So
All right, so there's a little bit of layers.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Russian is the language I speak with my parents
Well,
or
there
my
you go.
dad. But it's so funny because people like know me as White
Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah.
People call me White Russia, or when other people are talking about me, they call me White Russia still. So it actually gave me a little bit of an edge and like just something different than
Mm,
like your
right. Yeah,
typical.
Sean does real estate or whatever. It's like,
Right.
we know Sean.
Yeah. Lauren
Yeah.
sells SD.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we know.
Right. So yeah, it was literally just a joke.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, Russian is my first language.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about content later, but I think that's a good segue into it. I mean, you've got quite the following.
Yeah, I
And do you
guess.
think that comes from what you just said, like being authentic, being vulnerable? Because I've seen a lot of your posts and you're in the gym and you're doing all these things. Do you think that's what connects your audience with you?
Yeah, for sure. I kind of put a lot out there. And again, just staying really authentic.
Mm,
And I'm very passionate about kind of like my mindset, my discipline, my routines. So I post those things. So I have shared a lot of my personal life.
yeah,
And I think that has built a very organic like community here in San Diego and kind
right.
of all over. So
Yeah,
I've never like paid any marketing company. I've never bought
really.
followers. I've never bought a badge. I've never had anyone post content for me. Like it's always been just me.
Love that.
Mhm.
Congratulations. How long have you been doing that?
I mean, gosh, just since I started doing Instagram for fun,
Like, how long?
really, God, I couldn't even tell you when I started, but I mean, I probably like 2015, maybe.
Okay, so not that long. Yeah. I mean, so in a decade without even paying for it or hiring a team or hiring marketers, just organically.
Totally organic. Yeah.
That's amazing. I think it's important for people to hear too. You know,
Most of my business came from that. So,
so true. It's a business card.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it makes you an authority in the space. It builds trust. People see you. They're like, oh my gosh, this is a business person and a family person, and they're showing their workout on camera. So
Exactly. They see the real you, like not
yeah,
just what, your business encompasses.
right.
And let's be real, that's not what we want to watch, right? When we're following
Yeah,
someone's social media, we
right.
don't just want to watch sold, coming
Hundred
soon.
percent.
Like nobody cares. So I kind of realized that early on. And for me, it was like post my life with breaks of like commercial for like Foss Real Estate Group,
Yeah,
sold a house. So it was more like people are tuned in to watch my life, which apparently was interesting
yeah. It's
to some people.
fascinating. Yeah,
And then so you just kind of sprinkle in the sold
love that.
this and that. But yeah, I
Right.
definitely lead with like the story and what people want to see is you.
Well, let's get into the story. So, I think it's interesting. There's that expression like no one reads a book for the cover or for the last page. All people care about is the journey, right?
Yeah.
So to your point, if it's just win, 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 that's cool and it's motivating, but like I want to identify with the struggle. I want to know what it was like down here and how hard you had to work to get up here. And because it makes the win more satisfying.
For sure. And it's funny because me and my hubby talk about this for our kids. Like when you have things easy and like with our kids, like we want them to earn everything because you truly don't appreciate it unless you do.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I've had probably more struggle than most people. Again, still very blessed. I have a very gratitude mindset. But yeah, I mean, like I said, when we moved here, we had nothing. I did not speak the language. So kind of
how real estate, how did that come in?
Real estate?
Mm-hmm.
So, like purchasing my first property or?
Yeah, tell me about that origin story, because I know you shared it via text. You guys have moved to La Mesa now. You don't speak the language, and it's something about getting the first property. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, so we moved here, I was 12, right?
Okay.
Got my first job at 15.
Okay.
By 16, I had 2 jobs. I was bagging groceries at Albertsons.
Let's go.
I was pushing carts, bagging groceries.
Publix in Florida, first job.
Started from the bottom, okay? And I remember I was playing basketball. My friend's mom was like the manager at Albertsons. So
Israel's big on basketball. Let's go. What's up with that? Yeah, like everyone I know from Israel plays basketball.
So it's basketball or soccer.
Okay.
Anyway, so I just started grinding, man. And since as young as I can remember, I mean, I was in school, I was playing sports and working. Moving on from that, I literally had at all times 2 to 3 jobs on top of going to school, whether it was high school or then college. I was working at Wells Fargo as a banker, 40-hour week. I'd get off work at 6 and I'd go to SDSU to class from 7 to 10 p.m. Full-time student, 12 credits. I'd do that 4 days a week. So that was my Monday through Friday. And then I worked at the club on the weekend. When I turned 21, got a job working at Bar West in PB, RIP Bar West. So I worked like a crazy person. I just worked, stacked my money. And at that point, the first property that I bought was a condo in La Mesa.
Okay.
And me and my dad went half on it. Back then, it was $135,000.
Good old days. Yeah.
This is 2013.
Right.
And I remember I found the place, online by myself. I called the agent and I pretended to be a realtor. At this point, I'm working at Wells Fargo. And I just pretended to be a realtor and I pretended like my dad was my client.
Okay.
So we went to go look at it.
Love
and
that.
The place was beat up. Like the person lived there before had like cats and birds and it was gross. And we were like, we want it. So then we were like, oh shit, wait, I'm not really a realtor. So I actually had a customer at Wells Fargo that was a realtor.
Okay.
And I said, hey, can you just write up this offer for me? Anyways, fast forward, like literally our down payment was 30 grand and me and my dad split it 15 grand each, which back then was like, I worked 3 jobs for years to save that up.
Right.
And me and my dad went half on it and we bought it. So fixed it up, 21 years old. It was a 1-bedroom. I had rented the bedroom and I slept on the floor on a mattress.
Gosh.
Because
while somebody was there?
Whilst I had one of my girlfriends was,
wow.
I rented the bedroom and I literally pulled out a mattress.
It's an original house hack.
Living.
Yeah, that's like house hack 101. That's the smallest version of a house hack you can do.
Because believe it or not, back then my rent was $700 and then my mortgage ended up being like $12. And that was a big jump for me as a college student, like working.
Yeah.
So I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
So somebody else was paying my mortgage and I was living on the floor. It wasn't glamorous.
Good for you.
Could I afford to live somewhere nicer? Yes.
Yeah.
But I was locked in on my goals. So that's how we got the first property.
Love that.
Back at 21.
That's such a gift too. Like that hustle mentality, you can't teach that. You have to experience that, And to your point, like you're talking about your kids, I'm very grateful. My parents had some money. They weren't like super rich, but they made me earn everything. I mean, we were doing car washes and bake sales and all of that from a young age. And I hated them for that because we went to the good schools. So all my friends had all the toys and cash and prizes, and I was so resentful. But man, I'm so grateful for those values.
How did they end up versus you?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, like no shade to my friends. Yeah, but like, right.
But that's how it goes.
100%.
That's
100%.
dope. Well, your parents, smart people.
Yes.
That's why they knew what they were doing.
That's right. And they also came from hard times. My dad grew up in poverty in London, only child. Similar story, immigrant as well. Spoke the language, you know.
Yeah.
England.
Yeah.
But
Immigrant mentality
it's
is a
very different.
different thing.
It's very different.
And like to your point, when your back is against the wall,
Yeah.
when you don't really have a choice,
Right.
like for me, it was like, if I were not to make money or make it,
Mhm.
I can't go to my parents' house because
Yeah.
at this point I had already started helping my parents.
Right.
So it wasn't like, I'm like, I could just quit and just
Yeah.
go live with my parents.
Yeah.
So when your back is against the wall, like
Love that.
you kind of just have
You
to
have
make
to.
it happen. The drive is different. It has to be.
Yeah, you burn the boats. You leave no other way. It's like, this is going to work, or
Yeah, you sleep
that's
on the
it. You sleep
floor.
on the
You make it
floor. Yeah.
happen.
And I've slept on many an airbed, many a floor. I've slept in a car. So I identify.
For sure. Listen,
Definitely.
I have so many of my clients that are just like, this isn't the perfect house or whatever. And it's like, I wish I can instill in people that the investment,
Right.
like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? You just make it happen.
That's right.
And then you upgrade and you
100%.
and you upgrade. But you know, some people want the champagne on the Ferrari on their first car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good luck with that.
Right.
Yeah, and money loves velocity. You know, sometimes it's not about the perfect. It's just about getting on base. Yeah, just go, go, go. You build your wings as you leap.
Right. Now you can't time the market. It's about time in market. It's how long you
Let's go.
Mhm.
Say it one more time.
Time in market. Yeah, you can't time
Versus
the market.
time
It's
the
about
market.
time in market.
Love that.
Yep.
Love that. I've never heard that. That's great.
All right. The best time to buy is always 5 years ago.
Right. True. Very true.
Always.
What's the second best time? Now.
Right now.
Love that.
Or as soon as you can qualify.
Exactly. And so take me from that. So amazing story about that first condo.
Yes.
And then how does that get into the next steps in your journey?
Totally. So, I mean, from that point on, I was just grinding. Like I said, I was working 3 jobs. I don't even know how I did it. Like, I was at the club till 2, 3 in the morning on the weekend, drinking every night, partying. Like, I got paid to party. Fun job as a 21-year-old.
Right. Same. Been there. Bartender, bar back, promoter.
Absolutely. So, yeah, from then on, I went and worked in pretty much every single nightclub in San Diego that you can imagine while I was going to SDSU. And that's kind of where I made a lot of my connections. I had a lot of high profile clients that I just kind of met through the club. And just through San Diego, like a lot of business owners came in. And I mean, I just had a different edge. I really looked at it as a networking opportunity. I looked at the club as very temporary. I had an exit plan. I was there to make my money on the weekend and make my connections, and that's it. And I actually had very great conversations with obviously really smart business people, successful people at the club, and just kind of kept those relationships going very organically. I didn't want anything from them at the time other than to learn from them. Like, hey, you're here spending $5,000-$10,000 a night. Like, what do you do? How do you do it?
And what was that thing you said about proximity?
Power of proximity, man. It's just who you're around, like your closest people, the information that you hear. That's really going to determine your success in life.
And so how did that pivot into starting a team in your first year, all those things you told me?
Yeah, gosh. Well, so I worked at the club from 21 until 27 was my last day. I did 6 years in the industry. In that time, like I said, I managed and or worked every club. I was pretty known in nightlife.
White Russia.
Huh?
White Russia. Well known.
Yeah. She had a time. Actually, I'm going to rewind it back to my mom because so my mom, when I was 25, my mom woke up one day, had a cough, would not go away, went to the doctor, gave her antibiotics, wouldn't go away. Cough kept persisting. Then the fever came. So like 3 months of going to different doctors, cough, fever, they can't fix it, but you know, it's a cough, like, all right. And then finally her fever got so high. My dad was like, I'm taking her to the hospital. Took her to the hospital. And I remember like 25, it was right before my 25th birthday. Actually, it was 24. I was going to Miami for the first time with my girls. I had my trip planned. I was so excited. And then the hospital called me and they're like, your mom has stage 4 lung cancer. There's a 99% chance she's going to pass within the next 6 months. So like, shocker, like my mom's like my best friend in the whole world. Take it. I have two people here in this, like it's just me, my mom, and my dad. We don't have anybody else. And my mom literally was 58, healthy, never smoked a day in her life, doesn't drink, nothing. So obviously had a bomb dropped on me, and kind of like completely altered my life. I will never forget, like the doctor called and told that to me, and I just got to the hospital. So I was standing in the parking lot, and I'm like bawling my eyes out. Like that doctor did not like massage it in. He
No
was like,
bedside manner.
this is it. Like, your mom is dying. That's it. And I remember I had to go up to see my mom and my dad in the hospital, and I had to tell my dad that. Like, the hardest thing, my parents been together a bajillion years, like 30 years. So it was so hard. That was one of the hardest things. And then like from June until my mom passed away that November, me and my dad took turns going to the hospital every single day. We spent 8 hours in the hospital. So it was just like a very dark time. I've experienced a lot of loss, but that was very hard because you're literally watching the closest person to you like slowly deteriorate in front of your eyes, like lose every function. It was so tough. Like, it was the hardest thing. I mean, like, I swear a quick death would be much better. I know that sounds hard to say, but I will say I learned so much from going through that experience. You really mature. You really realize that life is so very short, and you kind of go for it. Like, you realize that fear is just in your mind, and you really don't have all the time to do all the things you want to do. And so that was my like biggest like growing up moment. Like, whoa. So
Wow.
fast forward, I went through like the darkest of dark times. RIP to my mom.
Yeah.
And that's when I got licensed. And I remember I was like, I'm going to go all in on this. Like, I'm going to really make it happen.
Well, thank you for sharing that. What an incredible story. And I'm sorry for your loss. And
thank you.
You know, I'm sure she'd be super proud of you.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing I miss the most, man. My mom was always so proud of me.
Yeah.
And she hasn't got to see all of that has transpired, but it's dope.
Tissues.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. They're good tears. I 25 years with my mom. She was the absolute best human ever, and I literally try to be more like her every single day.
It's incredible. So, good for you.
Yes, and she's my driving force. So I work my butt off to live out her legacy.
Well, I haven't known you long.
Yes.
But in the short time I've known you, I can see all of that, and good on you. You know, it shines through you. And I don't know, I haven't never met her. I don't even know what she looks like, but I'm sure a lot of this is coming from her, and I'm sure your kids see that, and you know, Stevie sees that, people around you see that. So she's still here with you.
Absolutely. We are a continuation of our parents. We're all going to get our times, you know, that's inevitable. So all that you leave are people that come after you.
And speak to what you just said a minute ago about, you know, how that still drives you today. I mean, that's such a gift. And, you know, the name of the show is Alchemy, The Alchemists, right? And it's taking these things that are catastrophic and that could destroy somebody. And you have a choice in that moment. And you can either let it destroy you, let it break you, which a lot of people do in drugs and alcohol and acting out. And 25 is young. I mean, your brain just finished forming. But instead of that, you alchemized it and you used it. And so how does that look like today?
Oh, well, that's so funny you said that. Like you said, a lot of people in those really dark moments, when you get in your head, you're dead. Like, you start spiraling and just picking up bad habits. And that's actually when I leaned into my like hardest pain. And that's when I just crazy dove into reading books and hitting the gym. And like, those were my only outlets. So like, if I did not do those things, I would have literally been in a crazy person. Like, I would have been not okay, just mentally gone. So that's when I quickly realized that like, it wasn't a matter of like working out for this purpose. It was like, if I did not do this, my mind would break.
100%.
And I want to hear your story, because I saw you post that you've been sober X amount of years. And I like always love to hear that. Like, I'm not a big drinker, but I think there's just so much to being sober. So I want to hear your story.
Right now?
Yeah, right
Okay,
now.
I'll give you a quick snippet
Okay.
because today's about you. But
Yes.
yeah, same. So had a lot of catastrophic things happen, traumatic things, we can or can't get into. But, I was one of the ones that did take it the wrong way. I didn't have the tools. I was younger. I was about 16. And, got into drugs really early. I mean, my first weed I smoked, my first joint at like 11 years old.
Wow. Yeah,
And
that's
Miami's
young.
wild. I mean, like you grow up in Miami, you grow up fast and you find fast friends. And, like I said, I was in the good schools and I hung out with like the kids that had money, and the kids that had money have the best drugs. Like,
Right.
let's be real. Like they have the best drugs. Exactly. They're free. And if you can be cool and learn how to like fit in, you get the free drugs. And so that was my escape for a while. And, the fellowship that I'm a member of, we say it was fun with consequences and then consequences. And towards the end, it was just blackout driving, flipping cars. I drove through a playground one time,
Wow.
like half an hour before it was supposed to open.
Whoa.
And like 30 minutes later, God knows what would have happened. I've had multiple surgeries. I've had multiple broken bones. I've had, just terrible traumatic things that happened during blackouts. I would fight people twice my size. You name it. And then around 22, I hit just an ultimate bottom where it was like I was dying. And I didn't get sober out of like, strength or out of like virtue. I got sober because I was killing myself and everybody around me. I had no choice. Like you said, like back against the wall. And then it turned into my superpower. Then it turned into my jet fuel. Just like you, got really into books, really into spirituality, really into self-help, dealing with these traumas, excavating these traumas, working through them, sorting and separating. Where did they come from? How do they show up today? How do I walk through this life without that crutch now? How else can I get ease and comfort? And how else can I feel good about myself and raise my self-esteem after almost a decade of destroying my life? And I've been on this journey since then, 19 years. And my God, there's been so many peaks and valleys. I've lived so many lives.
Right.
I've been a musician. I've been an actor. I've been a mentor, a teacher. I had a music academy where I taught piano lessons, like
Cool.
just crazy. And then I ended up in real estate, similar to you. And we'll talk about our mentors. I know you lived with your mentor, right?
Yeah.
And I lived with my mentor too.
Yep.
Shout out to Gus. And and the rest is history. That was about a decade ago that I started real estate and self-made millionaire. Not self-made, obviously people helped me, but I started with nothing. I had,
You did it,
had
yeah.
nothing. I had like maybe 20 grand in my name when I started, turned that into a $10 million company in about 4 years.
Amazing.
So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
I mean, again, it makes or breaks you, and I still tap into it.
Wouldn't you agree? Like you can't, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Let's
so if
go.
you don't take care of the mind,
That's right.
body, you will only be so successful in business.
Without question.
And I don't know, like I know there are some people that are successful in business that don't take care of themselves,
Yeah.
but they always run out.
Well, and to your earlier point, so fitness to me, I joke around with my employees all the time. I work out as a public safety effort. Like I'm protecting
Yes.
everyone around me when
I
I'm
like
working
that.
out. Like I work out as service to you.
Right, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Because you have not seen the other side to me. Like Mr. Hyde has not come out in a very long time. And it's fitness, it's spirituality, it's service. Care everybody around you, take care of your family, you take care of your friends. Again, I haven't known you that long, but you get to know people really quick. And I think that what's interesting about you and that I admire about you is how selfless you are.
You
And
have to lead
have
with
to be.
giving. You'll probably attest to this. Giving just feels so much better than receiving.
Yeah.
What I get from giving to somebody
Yeah.
is more than anyone else can give to me.
100%.
So
Yeah.
I do it for me.
That's right. It's selfishly selfless.
Literally.
And it's true. And there's that drawing of like the difference between heaven and hell. Have you ever seen it with the long spoons?
No.
I love this. So hell is there's people sitting around a table and there's food in the middle. And they all have these very long spoons and they can't feed themselves. It's too long to get in their mouth. So everyone starves to death. Heaven, everyone has these long spoons, but they're feeding each other in a circle. And that's really what it is. And that's what we're doing right here.
Yes.
And us coming together, like we've hung out a bunch, but what I love about podcasts in particular is like we kind of get rid of the outside, and we have a vulnerable connection. And I think that is like the connection is the antidote to depression.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, and I think that's why you have such a big following online, is because people are connecting with the journey and the struggle and not being perfect all the time,
Oh yeah.
you know?
Never perfect, for sure. And your relationships is all you have. That's another lesson from being bedside next to my mom. Like,
Mm,
you don't take your money with you.
mm,
Even your friends, it's gonna
right.
be your closest few at your
Yeah.
bedside. So,
Well, and like you said, you know, that lesson you learned about life is short. I
mhm,
think having almost died so many times, like quite literally
mhm,
many times, like near
yes,
death, it's like, dude, we don't have time.
mhm.
Like, let's go.
Isn't it crazy? Until you hit that rock
Yeah.
bottom, like people could have been telling you to stop doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter. And
What it
like I
matter.
have friends that I want for them things that they're not ready to receive. Like I think it truly takes a person to hit that rock bottom
Yeah.
on their own to like redo their life.
100%. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, you can't teach that. And
Mm-mm.
that's what I find so fascinating about entrepreneurs. That's why I started this podcast,
Mhm.
is because, like, we all come from different walks of life, different places, but we are connected. We're grounded in that pain, in that suffering that we alchemized into good for ourselves and others. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and
Do you know
money
what I mean?
follows that.
Money follows
Money
that.
follows that.
Success follows that. Impact follows that. So think about how
Absolutely.
many women, and I want to get into being a, you know, because I haven't interviewed a mother yet on my show, and
First
think
girl.
about how many moms you're helping. Think about how many mothers you're inspiring, how many immigrants that you're inspiring,
Let me
right?
tell you, it's not seen because I'm not like publicly like a life coach or any of that, but the amount of women that DM me that have started to work out, got into real estate, cook more meals for their family, that hit me up on a daily basis, it is the most rewarding thing. So even though I per se don't get paid for some of the personal content that I put out, my reward for the impact that I have on young girls, older women that are lost, it just means everything to me. Like you, I've also been a coach and mentor to people directly and to friends and people around me in my life. But social media has allowed me to scale that to people that I don't know. And um, nothing feels better than having a positive impact when you're truly living aligned in the flow, doing the right thing, leading with your heart, leading with giving. Um, it feels better than any paycheck that I could get. And I've got some pretty big paychecks. So that you can't put a price on it.
Well
Truly.
said. What a clip that was. And I fully agree. And I think until you've experienced that, it's like, it's hard to believe that. You know, I find until someone has like an ego death, something that is
Mhm.
catastrophic in their life that causes them to like let go of their identity for a little while, right? Their attachment to who I am and what I do and all these things, and like really go deep inward. They're like, they never really see that. And it's such a gift you found that at such a young age. I mean, 25 is super young.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the next couple years then. So this
Yeah.
tragedy happens, you go all in. What were some of those books?
Oh my gosh, I have so many favorites. Like on just the sales real estate side, I love Chop Wood, Carry Water, Never Split the Difference, probably my favorite. Seven Levels of Communication. Gosh, I read like The Art of Exceptional Living. I think I read every one of the big Power of Habit, Atomic Habits, Miracle Morning. I mean, all of that. But gosh, Never Split the Difference is my
So good.
favorite.
Incredible book.
I like negotiations are my favorite. And it's
So
also my
fun.
blood. Like in Israel,
Mm,
fun fact, like when you go to the grocery store, you negotiate the price of those eggs.
love that.
Like nothing is set.
Everything's a
It's like, I'll
negotiation.
give you this. So like for me, that I like that's the fun part of real estate for me is that negotiation. So when I dove and when I tell you like you probably get it, like I got obsessed.
Mm,
I did not listen to music. The
yeah,
only thing I did when I'm working out, when I'm driving, when I'm doing anything is feeding my brain with this information. And that was my
100%.
first 2 years of real estate, just like non-stop feeding my brain.
100%. And people bastardize obsession, and I think it's a superpower. I think if you can aim it, because you know, when I was back in the drinking and drugging days, the mental obsession never left, right? And I needed something to break that. But to this day, I'll still get obsessed. Like if I get a new hobby, like let's say I take up hiking, I'm all in. Like
That's how you do anything is how you do everything.
100%.
So that obsession is a great thing.
Fully agree.
I agree.
So anyone out there that's like, oh, like I don't want to be obsessed with this, like just aim it. Just find a way to aim it because it's not going to go anywhere. And it's what makes people great. It's like, look at Kobe, look at anyone that's done anything remarkable in their life. There was not balance. Like you hear this thing about balance. I call bullshit on that. I think there's seasons in life. And sure, eventually you want to find balance. But when you're young and you're grinding, be out of balance.
It's so funny you said that. Like when you're young, I think too many young people spread themselves so thin and they chase this for 5 minutes. Then they chase the next thing for 5 minutes.
Yep.
And like you said, you got to get obsessed on something.
That's right.
And lock in and stay at it for enough time to reach success before you go to the next thing. So you got to keep your main thing your main thing. And then, once you've mastered it, autopilot, duplicated yourself, then you can start, okay, this is next.
Well said.
Yeah.
I love you. You have these little quips and I love those. Like when I first got sober, I wrote them everywhere. You know, like time takes time. Time stands for things I must earn.
I like that.
You know, pause stands for postpone action until sanity enters.
I'm with you.
That's
same
a big
thing.
one.
It's funny. A lot of successful people do the same things. We might do it different or listen in different books, but it's kind of it's programming your mind.
That's right.
And that's what we do have in common. It's the mindset. And it starts there, right? Because the mindset then controls your habits, your disciplines, just everything that you do. And how you do everything is how you do anything is how you do everything. Like I live on that.
Is your bed made right now?
Come on.
100%, right?
Listen, I have 2 small babies and other moms are like, how is your house always so clean?
Talk to me.
Oh, I just clean all day. Duh. That's it. That's what it is. But that's clean house.
Clean mind. Love that.
Clean mind. Happy home.
And so tell me about this team now. So you're all in, you're focused, you're 25. How did you go from that to this team that you told me?
All right. So I'm 25. First full year in real estate was 2019.
Okay.
I joined a team, Reef Point with John Reeves. I was making 15% commission on every deal. 15. Oh. But this broker was feeding me leads. So I didn't care. I realized first you learn, then you earn. So it was part of the plan. In real estate, it's definitely not about years in the business because there's a lot of agents that average just a few deals a year that would have much less experience than someone that's closed 20 deals. So my first year, I did 25 deals under John Reeves.
That's wild.
And
you did 25 in your first year
in real estate.
What's like the average? Do you know? I mean, that can't be normal.
No, I don't know. But I mean,
Less
the
than that.
average agent sells 3 homes a year.
There you go.
So I don't know about new agent, probably none.
Wow.
I don't know.
Damn.
You're just kind of getting started. So, couple and things that I did, I was telling you, like my broker, John Reeves, I moved my desk into his office. And like as a broker, when you have a hungry agent like that, that's like, yo, I'm in here. They're going to respect it. They're not going to kick you out.
Right.
So shout out to John Reeves. He was teaching me so much game. He was one of the top teams in San Diego. He was crushing it. And then the top agent on the team, I was like, all right, well, I'm new. I'm green. She's the number 1 agent. I need to get around her. And at the time, she was a young girl too. She had got a puppy. And I remember she was looking for a place. And I was like, hey, let's be roommates. Like when you're busy working, I'll watch your puppy for you.
Love that.
So we moved in together. Actually, we were living right there.
Love that.
And I listened to her phone calls. Just again, the people you're around. After that first year, I did those 25 deals. I made $100,000 for 25 deals, which if you're in real estate and you're doing some math, it's not mathing, right? It was my 15%. So I knew that was I was there to get the experience. And then I just dove off the deep end like the crazy person that I am. And I was like, all right, went on my own, started a team. And I had 2 agents I had just brought with me. And we're all excited. We're pumped up. We're all crushing. And then boom, COVID happened.
Oh,
and
man.
obviously real estate, the world shuts down.
Right.
So, we maneuver again, we find ways. And then I grew my team. I had 14 agents at one point that I have, fully mentored, did everything with them. I'm still cool with every single one of my agents. They're like my peeps for life. I've had over 20 agents that I've at some point mentored.
Wow.
And yeah, I was just a high producer. I've done 25, 35, 40 transactions. My team one year, we did 105 million, got all the accolades and the, high fives and spoke at conferences and events and all this good stuff. So, found a lot of success in real estate. But on top of selling real estate, I'm really big on owning real estate myself. And I think kind of that's what separated me from a lot of other young agents is not only was I selling real estate, I was using that money and buying real estate.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I got I own 3 properties.
Okay.
I have 5 doors, so 2 of them have 2 units. So I have one of my doors is an Airbnb with you, and that's kind of how we connected. And then I have 2 units by SDSU, 2 units in Del Cerro. One of them is an Airbnb, and then I got the condo in La Mesa still.
You still have it?
Still have it.
I have to see it. We got to go one day.
Pops lives there. You can
Get
go
out
there
of here.
anytime.
All right. Well,
yes.
I have to see it. That's so cool. We'll have to get a photo of it and put it in this so people can see where it all started.
Started from the bottom, baby.
And then we'll show Argentum. So before and after.
Oh, yeah.
The growth.
Yeah. So, and that's the biggest part. And owning real estate, right? Obviously, you're in the work. So you trade your time for money. I knew I wanted to be a mom. And I knew that I was going to have to free my time.
Yeah.
To me, it was very important not to just have kids and drop them off at daycare. I always wanted to be a super hands-on mom. So I had I always lived my life and what do I want it to look like in 5 to 10 years. So it was always on the path of where I wanted to be.
Yep.
So it was all about freeing my time. So it was great when I'm in my 20s and I'm at the club and I'm selling real estate. And I mean, it's Saturday, Sunday. I worked until 2 a.m, went to sleep at 4 the night before. I'm up at 8 to be in Temecula, showing a house at 9, and then showing houses from Temecula to Chula Vista. 15 showings a day, 4 different clients, no sleep, go back to the, craziness. I couldn't do that now.
Totally with you. The 20s are unreal.
I don't know how did that work.
You could eat McDonald's every day. You sleep for 4 hours. You're good.
Could not do that.
Yeah.
So it was in the grind, but obviously did not want to do that long term. So anyways, I stopped nightlife when I was 27, was all in on the real estate. It was my only job. It was the only time in my life that I only had one job.
Wow.
But even though I was still producing and leading a team. So it was kind of like 2 different jobs.
Yeah. We'll count it.
Yeah. And then just constantly, whenever I can, buying another property. Smart. And that has freed up, having some of that passive income has freed up some of my time to be the best mom that I can be, which I will say is the most important job and the best job that I've ever had. And I've found success in a lot of different careers. Nothing like being a mom. Since you don't have girls on
Great
here.
Great message.
Let's sprinkle that in there.
Love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so is that when you when your first was born, then you kind of slowed down a bit? Talking about that transition.
Oh, gosh. When I was in labor with my first son, Royal, in labor, he came 2 weeks early. So I wasn't prepared. I had 4 deals in escrow.
Come on, Royal, what are you doing?
I was on the delivery table, on the phone with my girl, Felicity, who's an agent. Shout out Felicity. Trying to fill her in on all my transactions. So I'm literally working on the delivery table. I had my laptop on my big old belly and I'm on the phone. It's the funniest thing. My hubby got a video of me. So before Royal was born, I was still going. I'm still crushing. When he started to get a little bit older is when we transitioned to real brokerage. And so a lot of the agents were in my what's called downline. And a lot of them went on. 3 of my agents that were directly under me went on, started their own successful teams, which is so amazing for me to see their growth. So many of my other agents are just crushing it, independent agents. So I no longer am overseeing anybody directly. All my old peeps still call me for whatever they need. They know
Okay.
they got my number. But yeah, so right now I just produce on my own and obviously take care of my kids.
You juggle it all somehow.
You know,
Plus
it's a nice
fitness,
job.
plus everything else, plus, yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, time, right?
Hmm.
So like having those investments has freed up my time where I don't need to sell 30 homes a year, right?
Right.
And I have the luxury of, you've met my hubby.
Yeah.
My hubby is very successful. He takes care of us. So, it's one thing to have your back against the wall and like need to do it. And it's another thing to just do what you love and do it out of, wanting to do it.
Hmm.
But I'm very lucky where other people may not be, is that I've had the great situation of kind of being able to be with my kids and have
Yeah.
more time with them. And then also real estate is one of those careers, you've seen it.
Hmm.
I'm at the Airbnb
Yeah.
with both my kids
Yep.
on my hip,
Yep.
opening boxes, doing shit. I'm going to showings with both my kids.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've had to do that. So you kind of just, you make it happen. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely in a place where, I don't like buy a bunch of leads. All the business that I do is referrals,
Yep.
personal clients, return clients. So I'm able to service people at a really high level. And, it's a good balance. Like you said, I'm in a point in my life
Yes.
where I gotta have
Different
the
season.
balance.
Yeah.
Different
So you
season.
earned this season
Mm-hmm.
through an insane work ethic, 80-hour weeks. Now you have your time, like you said,
Yeah.
which is freedom. And then you can kind of like dip in and out as you please,
Absolutely.
And there might be a week where you're like, the kids or whatever, and I'm going to work extra hard this week. Or there's a week where like, no, I need to kind of back off and be mom for a little bit. And I think that's so cool. And I think that's an inspiring message to people. Especially people that are wanting to be an entrepreneur, is like understanding that you do eventually, hopefully, get to a place where you do have the power of choice, but you have to suffer for a while to get there. And people quit in the suffering. It's like, what is that, Eric Thomas? It's like, you suffered, you might as well get a reward out of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Stop too soon.
stop too soon.
I can't tell you how many people, I'm sure, hit you up the same. Like, I want to get into real estate.
All the time.
I have all this stuff. I want to control my schedule. Like, it seems so easy. Like, you're just crushing it. And it's like, well, I am now.
Right.
But you didn't see when
That's right.
I looked like a zombie because I wasn't
That's
sleeping
right.
and I was working like
That's
a
right.
crazy woman.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you paid your dues and you said a lot of great things. So just going back on your story, you talked about moving your desk into that office. I think this is such an important lesson that took me too long to learn. I wish I learned it sooner. Don't ask people how you can add value. Just add value.
yes.
Just
You
show
gotta
up and
figure it
that's
out.
it. Figure it. Because I think it was Hormozy who said it. It's like when people go to networking events, they're like, hey, how can I help you? It's like, you're giving them a homework assignment now.
Mhm.
Don't give them a chore. When you first meet somebody, don't say, how can I help you? Already know how you can help them. Come to the
100%.
table with the value already, make suggestions, and then they will be glad to teach you things. So just like you, I had a mentor, same thing, this amazing guy, Gus, shout out to Gus. And, he was doing Airbnb. I ended up moving in with him also. He was my roommate also. And we built these like huge shelves in our living room with all the linens because we were doing everything. We were doing the cleanings, we were doing the check-ins, the
You
restocks.
got to, right?
And he taught me everything, but I worked with him and I helped him and then he gave me that value. And then now look
The
how much
knowledge.
the knowledge,
It's priceless.
it's priceless. And how many people have I helped since then, right? So like if you look at the downline from Gus to all the people, it's wild.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, so it's add value without asking. Another one you said was the power of proximity, which I think is so important. It's like you got to get in the right rooms and you got to stand on the shoulders of giants. For so long, I had this chip on my shoulder that I had to do everything myself, right? It's like, I have to do this. And it's like, no, man, it's a we sport. It's not an I sport, it's a we sport. So just find people that have already done the thing and get around them.
Do what they do.
That's it. Like
until you become good at it. And then
100%.
make it your own.
You got it.
God, I couldn't tell you. Those first phone calls I used to make, I used to sound just like everybody else who I was
Yeah.
around. I was literally saying the
Yeah.
exact same
Smile
thing.
and dial. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other big thing that you said is like you got to have confidence, right? And you got to know what value you add.
Mm.
And if there is someone out there that you want to mentor you, I mean, people put a lot of their lives on social media. I
Yep.
bet you can just watch what they do
That's right.
and see where the area of opportunity that they have where you can be of value.
Love that.
And I mean, it's too easy, but I think too many people lead with, can you do this for me?
That's right.
Can you teach me? Can
Yeah,
you
teach
mentor
me.
me?
It's
I'm
like,
why would I take time away
Right.
from my kids to
Right.
teach you? What do I get
right.
out of
That's
it?
right. Yeah. Like, who are you
Right,
even?
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. So you have to lead with value in any business. You have to, and with anything, with any friendship. Like, what value are you adding to your friends?
Love that.
And you have your friends that are just like, high five, you're doing so good, and then you have the friends that are going to tell you like, Evan, what are you doing?
Right.
This is not the right relationship, or
Right.
what are you doing eating this crap, or
Yeah.
So there's two different types of friends.
Love
And
that.
I don't know about you, but I want the kind that are going to keep me being my best versus just the
100%.
so good.
What is it? I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Love that. Well, I haven't even looked once at my questions for you today. This has been an amazing conversation.
Chatting.
Like, this was just such a beautiful flowing conversation. But I want to make sure I touch on a couple things that I had prepared. But I mean, you nailed everything. So we talked about fear earlier. One of the things that fascinates me so much is finding out how different entrepreneurs deal with fear. Can you talk about that today? Like what that looks like for you and how you deal with because we all have fear. Everybody deals with it. How do you deal with it?
I think for me, again, having those really low lows with losing my mom, and just losing other people in my life, I am not very afraid of things that are not going to kill me. So if it's like failing in a business, putting myself out there, trying something and it doesn't work out, it's that ego death that really, really, really helps. And once you hold yourself to a high standard and you set goals for yourself and you stay on those goals and you achieve, that builds true self-confidence. So when you do what you said you would do, like our conscious is always judging ourselves. So when I know I'm living my life how I should be living my life, I'm doing my best, I'm holding the promises I made to myself, that's where true self-confidence comes from. So when you have that, that eliminates a lot of fear because again, you are coming from a place of giving and from a place of wanting to learn. And that really makes it easy where I've gotten up when I was a new agent and spoke in a room full of people that were older than me, smarter than me. I was like, who is this girl that was like just at the club? Obviously it took a lot for me to prove myself and who I am in business because people saw me as, this pretty girl that used to model, that used to be at the club. Like the respect is not given, as it has to be earned, especially if you're a woman, good-looking woman in business. Like you have to really know your stuff. So I didn't have room to be scared. I had to just show up as her. And when I was scared, you couldn't tell.
God damn, what a good answer. Well said. I mean, I think it's so fascinating because you said a bunch of things. I think one of the things is that, have you heard of the different acronyms for fear? So like one of the things I remind myself is fear in the negative stands for false evidence appearing real.
Okay.
You heard that before?
I have.
Because fear is a liar.
Right.
It's a mile wide and an inch deep, right? It's completely in our mind. And yeah, there's real fear, like a lion's in the room. You should probably run. Don't jump in front of traffic, right? So there's valid fear. But 99 whatever percent of it for me is usually just a story.
Yes.
And so the antidote for that is exactly what you just said, is action. Even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't see the outcome as possible, that's when you have
don't
to do
want
it.
to make the call.
That's when you have to do it.
You don't want to go to the gym. That's when it matters.
That's when it matters. Because if I'm feeling good and I'm going to the gym, who cares? It's when, like you said, the romance or the finance or the health, the whatever, and it's raining and it's cold and I'm still forcing myself. Your conscious sees that. Your subconscious sees it. And neurolinguistic programming is a real thing.
Yes.
So what am I allowing my inner dialogue to say? And then what am I allowing my other half, my inner dialogue, to believe?
Mhm.
It's so important. And people walk around all day, like you said, like I brainwash myself
Mhm.
constantly. It's
Mhm.
not about like hoorah. It's not about that. It's not about like I am enough. That's great. That's helpful. I love I am confirmations, but it's about replacing the negative with the positive and then doing the action. You need both.
Well, you have to,
You
because the
have to do
negative
both.
is so much more powerful. You have to do that much more of the positive, feeding your brain to overcome the negative, or else our brains take over. It's just nothing
100%.
you can
The
do.
freaking amygdala, like go away, like this, survival method. And so the action, the acronym is face everything and recover.
Mm,
And I love that because it's taking false evidence appearing real and to face everything and recover. You face it. The only way around is through. And the longer
yes.
it takes for you to go in a straight line, the more you zigzag, the harder it's going to be. So make that call, send that email, go on that audition, go to that networking event. And through that action, the fear dissipates.
Yeah. And the more you do it, the more it's like a muscle, right? That muscle gets stronger and you just
100%.
get more comfortable being in those uncomfortable situations. Like that growth happens outside of your comfort zone just could not be more true.
Let's
When
go.
you feel that pit in your stomach, you're
Yeah.
like, ugh, that's where you want to be. And the more you feel that and the more you get used to feeling that,
Yep.
the more you'll grow and the more you'll learn. And if you're not feeling that, then you're probably staying comfortable and staying the same.
And to your earlier point, the ego death, I think there are almost like these plateaus that we can hit in life, right? Where it's like, I have bigger fears today than I've ever had before, but today they're relative. So, like, I think back to the stuff I was terrified about, let's say 10 years ago,
Hmm.
right? I would laugh at that shit today.
Yeah.
Like, if I go back to 2015 and I think about what was going on in my business and the overwhelming fear that I had about X, today that X would be like nothing,
Your smallest problem.
like a little gnat.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, if I can continue to remind myself of that, these fears today that seem insurmountable, it's like, dude, in 10 years, no one's gonna care. In 5 years, you're probably not gonna
Literally.
care. In 2 years,
Right.
you're probably not gonna care.
Right.
And it's not gonna be, hopefully, as bad as the thing that almost killed me. It's not as bad as these tragedies that you've been
Yeah.
through and you came out the other side of. And even if it is, it's probably for your better. So like best case, worst case. Best case, it's not as bad. Great.
Hmm.
Worst case, it is as bad. And it's the greatest gift you'll ever get.
I always say this, and people are like, how can you say this? I'm like, losing my mom was one of my greatest gifts. It's taught me life's most valuable lessons. And most people can never look at losing their closest person as a gift, but they're gifts in everything. It's just, again, how you train your mind to look at things. And I have truly trained my mind. And you said that you got to go through things because life is never easy. And just when you think things are great and you're chilling, you're good, something else is going to happen. And you really have to build an unbreakable mindset that you can get through anything that life throws at you.
100%. Well, and that's why I value progress over happiness. I think happiness is overrated. I think joy is great. I think contentment is great. Not contentment. Yeah, being content, not contentment. I think those things are great, but they're fleeting. Like the good passes and the bad passes. So if you can be okay in both without either and not focus so much on like this momentary happiness versus I'm progressing, I'm helping those around me, I'm doing the things that I'm making the promises that I kept to myself and keeping those things. That to me is way more valuable than like the Ferrari, like you said earlier, or
Well,
the
you find joy in the work, not just
yes,
in the
let's
destination,
go.
right? You like the journey. But you find joy in the journey. You find joy in the work. It's not just a means to an end. And when you can do that, then you've unlocked the next level, right? Because then you're truly living happy and fulfilled because you're enjoying the process. Like the gym you enjoy it. If I don't work out, you don't want to be around me
Yeah,
either.
different side. Yeah.
Right. So it's about enjoying the process.
Well, and you said earlier about the loss. Do you feel okay talking about the other loss?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm okay talking about anything. I'm an open book because there's so much value. There are so many people out there that experience loss. And you kind of show a real side because, people can look at me on Instagram and be like, oh my God, this girl's got it made, right? She's got the hot man, the beautiful family, the nice house, the good career.
He's a
She's
hot
in
man.
shape.
Let's be real. Stevie, shout out.
Right, shout out to the hottest dad in the world. Gosh, you gotta have him on here.
Oh, he's next.
Yeah,
Stevie, you're coming on next, buddy.
yeah, yeah. He's incredible. And people, not all people can relate to that, but a lot of people can relate to hard times. So, for those of you that have followed me, so Stevie and I had our first son, Royal, in 2021, and we got pregnant when Royal turned 1. I got pregnant, and our second son, Roman, was born on May 19th of 2023. And he passed away 5 days after he was born. And I had no red flags. I had a perfectly healthy pregnancy. With all my pregnancies, I worked out till the day that I gave birth. I ate literally like on meal preps. Like, I'm very health conscious. And we had absolutely no signs. Roman was born 8 pounds, 40 weeks, like on time. So again, I had to go through the valley of the shadow, like the hardest time. Any parents out there will tell you, obviously, going through a pregnancy, you get so excited, right? You do the gender reveal, the baby shower, you get everything prepared, and you're like so excited to bring this life home. And you go into that hospital, right? Like, and it's this whole thing. And I gave birth, and Roman had to be taken away from me, and didn't know what was going on. And for the next couple of days in the hospital, nobody knew what was wrong with him. And even till this day, we didn't really get a ton of answers. There was just some kind of a genetic anomaly, like less than 1%, 0.01% of babies this happens to. Right? So sometimes you're like, wow, did I just get the bad card? But as a parent, we went through horrors in that hospital. I was literally bleeding, and they took Roman down to the NICU, and I literally was still bleeding. They're like, you can't get up yet, you're bleeding. And I was like, no, I'm going to see my baby. And literally like went down there, and me and Stevie stayed by his side until they pretty much told us like he's not gonna make it. And that, like, as someone who just carried a baby for 9 months, gave birth at full term, got to hold my baby, Roman, and being told that I'm in postpartum, like I'm still bleeding, I'm going through the most insane hormonal changes that a woman goes through, and yeah, we had to say our goodbye. So again, just gone through the worst case scenario that you can go to as a parent. But I always say this, like, pregnancy and motherhood is so hard enough. I say I'm lucky it was me and not someone else, because I've had so many other traumas in life, and I've dealt with so much loss that I have programmed my mind to be able to pick myself up and get through those really, really dark times. So I always say, glad it was me, because that would break most women. That breaks most relationships. Very few people can survive going through something that traumatic. So, again, just going through something very, very hard. And you just have to be unbreakable. Like, you have to train your mind, right? We had to still come home, and we have a 2-year-old at home. So, RIP my baby Roman. But the craziest thing is, like, life comes full circle. Then got pregnant with my daughter Rain right after, and she was born exactly 1 year after Roman. And my daughter Rain, we named her Rain Raya, which my mom's name was Raya. So
Good.
Full circle. So yeah, sometimes you can look at someone's life and it could look really perfect on social media, but that's not what highlights a person, is how you go through those really tough times, how you get through those mental humps. And it's being in that work, it's being in those disciplines, and it is the working out that has saved my life multiple times, because if I don't have that stability and moving my body and feeding my brain, it would be almost impossible to kind of get through those insane hard things in life. So yeah, like I feel like at this point in my life, I'm like, what's up? What's next? Throw it at me. I'm ready.
Laura, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
What an incredible story and message. And again, I haven't known you that long, but very inspired by you, and
Thank
grateful
you.
that we're friends. And you're going to help so many people.
Thank you.
I mean, truly. And you already have. But I mean, the sky's the limit here. I mean, really, it's incredible.
That's the goal. That's the goal. If by sharing this, it could help get anyone else on the right path, then do it, right? Why would I not?
And why? And you know, I think that's such a great mindset. I struggled with putting any content out there for a very long time. I took like almost a decade off social media, and I found that like it's good for a cleanse, but it's also selfish. If you've got something that can help somebody, if you've got a story, a message, something like that, I mean, it's kind of selfish to not put it out there, you know, because the amount of people that you're going to help, even if it's just one person,
It's worth it.
it's worth it 100%. So, I mean, man, that is just really incredible.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Let me tell you, having kids, I know I've kind of just told you that because I like always ride on that, but having kids is the best thing on the planet. I feel like too many people out there put out there like it's such a negative thing and it'll take you away from your business or whatever it is. And like when you have, you know, Stevie on here, he'll share the dad side of it, but it really gives you that new purpose, because my purpose was always my parents and giving back to them for sacrificing everything. But now it's legacy. It's my kids. Everything is for them. It's in their name. It's giving them the future, giving them the mindset of how they can get through life and how they can be good people in the world. Because as women, that is our most important job. Like we're creating the next generation. And I think there's a big like boss babe movement. And don't get me wrong, I was that boss babe.
Still are in many ways.
All the way. But the most important job, like we would literally cease to exist if women stopped having kids, which makes it difficult, right? Because then you're like your kids, your career, you truly have to get a balance. But there's just nothing like having kids, and it does give you just a different sense of purpose. So can't wait for you to have your own one day.
One of these days, And you'll be one of my first calls.
Oh.
What do I do? You and Stevie. I'll be like, Stevie, help me out, man. What do I do?
I did a PhD, all the research I've done on nutrition, babies.
Any interest in writing?
I'd
buy your book.
Yeah.
What you think about it?
I'd probably be better at telling it. Someone else would have to write it.
Get a ghostwriter. But I mean, it's such a powerful message, a great story and journey. And my gosh, you're still just getting started.
Yeah.
I mean,
32. I know you're not supposed to share age. I'm 32.
I didn't ask for the record.
I'm young enough.
I was doing some math though. I was like, all right, middle school moved, came from Israel.
I'm young enough that I can share, right? Like maybe if I was like older, I would want to share. But again, if you live aligned and you know you're where you know you should be in life. I'm an open book.
Well, I think it's so cool that we had this conversation, you know, and we're going to do a lot of business together.
Yeah, we are.
But I made a deal with myself and with my team that like, I'm not going to do business with people that I don't want to do business with anymore. You know, and so
I'm there too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and that's that freedom and power that you get to as well. Because a while back, I would take whatever deal you got. Like, give me anything, right? But now I can be a little more choosy. And I think that good is the enemy of great. And if I'm wasting time on good, I'm not going to get to great. And sometimes it's hard to sacrifice that. And I know that's a privileged standpoint. Like when you're getting started, like you take whatever you can get. Like, let me just be clear to anyone listening. I'm not saying turn stuff down at the beginning. But
you can't afford to.
You can't afford to. Like you're sleeping on floors and cars and shit. You do what you got to do. You take it. Whatever it is. But these days, I find that if I can say no to good, it opens me up for great. And man, that is a lesson that took me too long to get.
I like that.
And I would just say that to anyone that's kind of at that point where, hey, is this even worth it? And all value deals by time now, by brain damage. I'll look at a deal and I'll be, yeah.
Right,
Am I willing? Am I
Who's
willing
gonna stress you out that it's not
Exactly.
worth it?
It's not worth it. And again, it's robbing you of the hours that you could have something better.
Yeah.
And I think so many people settle for the good. Don't settle for the good.
Yeah, no, you get to a point where when you are so skillful, you're so good at what you do, that client or whoever you're doing a business dealing with, they're lucky to have you. So like for me, and for any other realtors out there, when I sell somebody a property, that commission check is going to do much less for me than them buying that house. Them buying that house is going to change their life. And I know I'm going to serve them at the highest level. I'm going to answer their call at 10 p.m. I'm going to always be available. I'm going to show up. I'm going to fight for every dollar. I will do whatever it takes. Get them the best deal. Get them the house. So that commission check will not change anything for me. But them buying that house will change their life. So now that's how I see it. I am of value. And if that person does not see my value, one of two things. One, I haven't done a good job of showing them my value. Or two, they don't see my value. They don't appreciate my value. And then I don't want to waste my time or my mental space. I rather serve somebody to the highest level that does appreciate and value me. So, but again, you got to get to a place where you are skillful and you are truly that person that if someone does not see your value that you're offering, that's okay.
That's okay.
You can go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. I could give you the names of my competitors. Go ahead and look them up. Well, and you mentioned earlier that a lot of your business is referral based. And I think what you just said speaks volumes to that because people watch what you do. They don't watch what you say.
Always.
They watch what you do. And you're like, you came to me through a referral.
Yeah.
Right? And shout out to David. Yeah. Thank you, brother. So, if I can look through the lens of service, to me, it always comes back to service, which sounds trite. And it's like, yeah, right, Evan, you want the money. I do want the money. Let's be clear. But if I can anchor myself in service to what you just said, the value it's going to provide them, I know they're going to go to bat for me 1,000%, right? So there's clients I take on today that again, won't move the needle, right? A little Airbnb here and there. It's not going to make or break my company, but it's making or breaking them, right? Like this is their baby. This is their everything, their first investment home. They saved up for years, whatever, right? So I know if I can crush it for them, it's going to come back tenfold.
100%. And let me tell you guys, Evan is that guy in the Airbnb business because
very sweet. Thank you.
I mean, I'm in real estate, right? So I know everybody. I know everybody in San Diego. I mean, most people, like you said, it's very small. How many times are you going somewhere like, oh, this person knows?
It happened yesterday in the middle of La Jolla.
I know, right? So, when I had put out there that I'm looking into Airbnb, I had so many people send me their person, right? And then David was like, okay, so I have the GOAT, the highest level, or, if that doesn't work, I have the lower tier. And I was like, what? Give me your best guy. And then we connected.
Let's go.
And gosh, you've talked me off the ledge a couple times of getting an Airbnb ready. And I'm so grateful that I had you in my corner, but I know we're going to do more. You already got Stevie going. So yeah, I mean, if you've really built a dope company. And again, it's who you are, who you hire and how you do things. That is why you're successful and people are going to keep coming back to you and why I'll be sending my referrals to you. It's just, again, just who you are as a person.
Thank you so much.
That's who people work with.
I really appreciate that. That means the world to me.
It's genuine. If not, I wouldn't be giving you my money.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And to your point, it's a team. It's an army, right? No man is an island. You're very selective about the people that you have in your circle. And I just got to say, shout out to my team. They are incredible. The fact that I have the freedom to sit here with you doing this podcast while there are a million fires to be put out speaks volumes. Because they're out there in the trenches and going. And so again, I wouldn't be anything without them or clients like you. So
yeah. You built it.
Here. Well, Laura, this has been amazing. I don't really have much else. You literally answered everything without me having to ask. Is there anything you want to get out there? Any kind of final thought or to the moms out there, to the strugglers out there?
I just think that you got to go for it in this life. Whatever it is, if you're feeling stuck, you're not in a place where you want to be, you've really got to sit down, find your purpose. I know that sounds very vague, but start with reading self-help books, start with the gym, start with the workouts, figure out your purpose, surround yourself with the people that are doing what you want to do, and the sky's the limit, man. As long as you lead with yourself being authentic, lead with giving, with love, success, money, all the above follows that. And then you attract like-minded people. And then you do get to live the dream. Like, I truly believe I live the dream. Doing the best of both worlds, being a mom. And I'm proud of you for doing this. I know you started this podcast. I'm excited. All the people you're going to impact, and all the good tidbits that all the people that are come on here are going to share and help those, new people in the business, in the industry, whatever industry it is. And I'm excited to see you grow this.
Laura, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well said. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. How can people reach you?
Well, you got my handle on Instagram.
True.
White Russia on Instagram. It's probably the best way.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Thanks, guys.
Peace
See you
out.
next time.